It's stabilized. I don't think my system's dying anymore. Welcome to Half-Life 2. For those of you who don't know, there's a new RTX community mod that came out recently, which adds ray tracing, with a program called RTX Remix, or like I guess it's called RTX Remix or NVIDIA Remix. And the idea of it is that I think when they showed off the runtime initially, when NVIDIA showed off the runtime, it was a way to hook right into older graphics APIs and like upgrade it with new features. But I couldn't I didn't take a deeper look at it. I just know that it does something to translate some things to allow you to use things like DLSS and stuff. So, for instance, I can see that I have a DLSS sort of like sort of window here, rendering. Let's go to high, ultra. Let's try ultra. Okay, save. We'll save the settings. Is VSync okay? Okay. Things are getting really slow. We don't go to Ravenholm. This isn't fully out yet. This is just a demo at this moment. I think they're still working on the full mod. But what's interesting about this is that Half-Life 2 was already a very good-looking game, and I think the game as a whole sort of stood the test of time, right? I never looked at Half-Life 2 as a bad-looking game. I never looked at it as needing something like this. Oh my god, I'm getting 5 frames a second. I'm getting like 5 frames a second, yeah. And Ravenholm in the original was actually very interesting because the baked lighting within the map was already an extremely good-looking map, but like now it's an RTX, so you can definitely see like a certain softness and a certain quality. Like if you look really closely, right? Like look how this does look like an asset that you'd see in an Unreal Engine game, in the sense of like it comes from the marketplace, yeah, and you can see the way that the lighting and the reflections go. But you can also see the performance hit that my PC is taking just to run this thing. Let's do high. You know what? We'll stay on ultra. If it's awful, we'll just deal with it, okay? At least it's not lacking like the stream itself. I can still do things. And when I heard of this project initially, way back when, I thought to myself, sort of, what's the point, right? Not that the game is necessarily not in need of an upgrade. Like I think of Half-Life Alyx and how good that game looks like, but I mean, it's still just Half-Life 2, a game that already has very, very nice art style and very, very nice lighting and very, very nice map design and very, very nice sort of like texture quality as is, that placed well enough and in different scenarios where the fidelity doesn't really bother you. Like it's very hard to see the fidelity drop in most of that game, except for I think maybe when you get to the outdoor zones. Like the moment that you start to go in the vehicle, the water vehicle thing, that's when I start to see some issues. But other than that, it's like once you hit Ravenholm and you go into the inside of the Citadel, it's like mostly really nice. And I would even say the canals are really good because a lot of it is like tight spaces that feel interesting and that actually have a fair amount of detail to it that you don't really notice anything's off, right? Even that first sort of like city, like the first romp through the city as you're trying to break out is really good. It just absolutely implodes as soon as I hit something. Okay, well. I don't know why anybody would do this. This is actually genuinely it's pretty bad. It's not bad. It's just, but the performance is very frustrating. So we'll do this. We'll go to medium. Medium's a bit better, but then you start to see some of the issues with like the DLSS and stuff, getting these like fine details. I've heard DLSS 4 is apparently really good with fine details. DLSS 3 was apparently just like TAA, but like AI generated with like the model and stuff. But apparently DLSS 4, they've done improvements to prevent this loss of detail now, so. And like you can kind of tell that RTX is on. You can kind of tell that there's some rage. Is there still cheats? Can I do impulse? What? You can still tell that, like, you can tell that there's some improvements to it. Is the picture supposed to be static? Oh, fuck. Is it static? Oh, shit. See, this is the problem with this. Thank you for telling me. You actually did save us here. There we go. Sorry, there we go. There's like 2 different modes that I have to do. Here, okay, look. Like, if you look at the game, like it does look nicer with RTX. But I'm like, is it worth all the effort to go through and worth the effort of running the game in that in this mode for a game that already looks this good. And for this type of performance loss too. Mind you, I have a 2080 Ti. And presumably other people with more optimized PCs could run this better. But I'm like, what's sort of the, I guess like why, right? I just sort of look at it and I go, why? It's a cool experiment for sure. Like it's a cool, interesting experiment to have, but it doesn't make me go, oh man, like I need this in my life. It makes me go, I don't really know if I want to play this for very long. A game, by the way, that for many years ran fine. And mods ran fine. And still runs fine. Like everything still runs fine. Let's just try to throw this and see what happens. And then if you have to, and then did you see what happened there with that sort of like artifact? So like look at this. So you throw this. Look at the decals that show up and look how blocky they are, right? And it's like if you have to run at a lower quality setting just to be able to run the game, and it ends up being so blocky that it doesn't even look good, what's sort of the point, right? I will say that I do like the way that the light and cast shadows and stuff, and the way that things sort of like feel much more, I don't know, physical. It's because lighting does play a huge role in how you perceive things, right? But for the cost of what you have to do to run it, I don't really know. You see him? Now you don't. I will say this section is still very fun. It's very fun to play around with these. And I wish more games had gravity guns. And you remember when we were playing Attica and how I mentioned it's like very hard to pick things up? You see that? Like Half-Life 2 makes it very easy to pick things up. Even from far away, they like kind of drag into range. Yeah, it's an interesting experiment for sure, but I don't know if it's really worth it for, I think, any game, but especially a game like this that already looks amazing. I just sort of think like, God. I just sort of think why, right?
For it was said they had become like these peculiar demons.
What's him?
Which dwell in matter, but in whom no light may be found.
If you've never played this game, I think you should. It's amazing, and this section is one of the weirder sections that also I think highlights why it's so interesting. They took this very realistic world with a lot of sci-fi elements, and they combine it with all these other different pieces to make this almost surreal adventure. Like, look at this, okay? Like, okay, this is a great example of what happens when you need to try to when you need to lower settings to get it to like work, right? It looks like a blurry mess. And I sort of wonder, like, what's the point? It's not like this session looked terribly bad. Though I will say the darkness in this level is much more pronounced, and the highlights are much more pronounced as well. So there is that aspect of like, you know that, like it's how do I say this? I like how much contrast there is, but I feel like you can get the same thing by just lowering your brightness on your in your settings. So I'm like, I don't know what the point of this is, but it is fun to play around in Half-Life 2 again. Come here. Come here. But light alone. Yeah, this is. It's fascinating. And I sort of wonder, right, how this sort of came about. Because who... Like, to me, this feels like an ad for the remix stuff. It doesn't really feel like something that I would want to reasonably play constantly. It feels very punky. But not because it's like a poor effort on the developer's part. I just think it's just a reality that a lot of this really cool ray tracing tech is like, it's very hard. Like, it feels like a very niche thing to have. Like, I've sort of, when I first saw it, I thought, wow, this looks cool, and I can't wait to have it in more games. But now that I see it more and more, I'm like, I don't know if it's worth the cost when things looked good before. And I think Half-Life 2 is interesting to look at in this light because it's so heavily visually stylized that I sort of look at this and I go, it just looks like Half-Life 2, but with worse performance now. Like, there's not really much of a change from how I view this as a game, right? Will there ever be a real-time ray tracing solution that we can use that doesn't blow up my computer? Father Gregory! Even this. Actually, this is a cool scene. Okay, maybe this is a cool scene. I will say the look of the fire and the way it casts this, like... I forget the term, but like the lighting on the fog and like on the walls. It is a very nice feeling to it. Very, very nice look.
More than that, I cannot promise.
What about this? Let's try this ball. I'm actually curious what this ball looks like. Okay, that thing looks sick. Okay, but I wonder, because again, you could probably do the same thing with just normal effects. Like, I don't know if you need the ray tracing. Like that trail behind, you could probably do the trail the same way. It's like, again, I just sort of look at it and I go, I don't know if I really want the ray tracing to be in here, because now I can't play Half-Life 2. Like, it's so laggy that I'd be more annoyed anyway. I need a bind, mouse 3, impulse 101. Oh, wait. Bind, mouse 3. There we go. Man, I feel how fun the weapons are in this game. But yeah, like, I don't know, it's interesting to look at, for sure. But I'm like, even this, like, I swear I've seen mods that do the same thing, where it has these sparks when you shoot the, like, guns. Like, you see those sparks that fly out? I swear I've seen other mods that, like, do this without having to take this performance cost. But maybe it's, like, rose-colored glasses where I don't remember how bad it used to be. And so I can't really tell how good it is now. If that makes sense. But Ravenholm is a cool level to show this off. Let's see what the grenade looks like. Pretty cool. What about this? Can I get the bugs? I don't think the bugs exist yet, right? Yeah. I think the bugs only exist in Nova Prospect. Oh god, the ladder. Oh yeah, I have to do some stupid puzzle. No clip. Easier. And I think you go... Wait, when you go over here, you go down here. Here we go. Eh? No clip. I don't fucking know where I go anymore. This level's huge, man. Actually, looking at it at scale is also kind of interesting too. You can actually tell that they did do more enhancements. I thought initially going into this, I thought it was just that they updated the game to have ray tracing, but it seems like they also updated the assets too. Because, like, I don't think there was fog here in these places. I don't think there was this much fire before. I don't remember that particular room having that much fire. I feel like it was easier to get into. Father goes into this dead, empty room up here. And then, even the models of the guns, actually. These look new. Am I a socialist or a leftist? This is a Half-Life 2 stream. I mean, this is a racing stream. I'm a racist. I showed them mod that video last night, and I think it's gonna be stuck in their head. Let's check out Nova Prospect. Okay, so for what I was expecting, right? I was expecting the game to crash. It hasn't crashed yet, so I will say it is stable. But it is interesting to sort of look at this and go, I don't know if it's really worth the performance loss. Like, if anything, I will say this. The enhanced asset quality and the fidelity of it, and like this, like if you look very, very closely. This, I forget the term for it. It's like is it the normal mapping? The way that it looks? Like, that's pretty cool. And the way that it interacts with the lighting is like really nice. Right? But even just having, I think, the bumps there without the lighting interacting with it so well would still look pretty nice. And couldn't you just bake it in? Right? Couldn't you just bake this in? And so it's like, what's the point of having like a real-time thing? I just think it's a weird experiment. I've been thinking about it more and more of like, you know, how often do you have a dynamic light in your game that you need to have that looks interesting, right? The flashlight is probably the only time that I would be like, yeah, this needs a dynamic light. Whereas like the rest of the game, I don't really need to see the bullets flash like this. It's cool, but even this, I would feel like probably you don't need this, right? Like it... Okay, never mind, I take it back. That's pretty sick. I take back everything. That was a cool look. I have to get to the turret. We have to get to the turret. That's nice. I think this is the level where you do like a tower defense thing. I'm gonna find that tower defense thing. Oh, they're doing it. Defending for the lives. The antlion guard pops in. Yep, kills them both. I still don't know if this is a pre-scripted video that they just record and then they play back. I don't know if this is actually in the scene or not. Why not both? Sorry, buddy. That's a. You have to watch the meme video to understand. There are only racists here. This one. I think this is where the self-defense or like the tower defense section starts. Pretty sure. I want to take one with me. Actually, even better, I could just spawn someone. Uh-oh. I've done it again! I've done it again. Okay, well, looks like we're stuck here. Oh, good. Okay. Why don't we just spawn enemies? Here, we'll just spawn NPC spawn... NPC... What is it called again? Create Alex? NPC create... whatchamacallit? Combine Soldier? NPC create Zombie. NPC create... Is there any way to make an NPC in this? What is this? SV cheats? How's the performance? Pretty bad. I'm on medium and it's pretty bad. Ignoring unreasonable position from V physics. Entity prop physics. I don't... Still, it's a little unstable, I think. Yeah, you're also thinking if you could perhaps make most improved lighting things in for better performance. Yeah, because then it's like... And then you think about it, right? It's like how many dynamic light sources do you need to be fully dynamic? Like maybe like the flashlight and like maybe the gun, the like muzzle flashes, and that's it. But even then, it's like, is it worth the performance cost for this? I don't really know. Like I sort of always look at this and I go, why, right? And again, eat me. Because the one cool thing about this mod that I can see already is the updated animations for things. Look, the animation is much smoother. It looks a lot cooler. The textures on things seem to be fully upgraded. The way that everything looks a lot better, right? And I just don't like that's the part of this that makes me excited, and the rest of it makes me go, I wish it wasn't here so I could run the experience fully. Am I just old, guys? Should I just go play my like roguelikes and just not bother with this really fancy tech? Or is it an economy thing? Is it because I yearn for when it actually is stable enough for us to use, such that it, you know, and also reasonable in terms of pricing to get, because graphics cards are very overpriced, right? Like, I feel like graphics cards are getting crazy in terms of pricing. You know, the NVIDIA cards have always been crazy, but the 5K series, is it out yet? Or like the new series? It's even more absurd. And AMD is doing their part to keep it low, but like, you know, it's kind of hard, right? You look any different? You look more high fidelity, you look cool. And I wish I downloaded Half-Life Episode 2 to show you the relative difference. Because to me, I thought Half-Life 2 Episode 2 looked really nice. Even though it wasn't, you know, with real-time RTX lighting, like ray tracing. It wasn't that bad. Is it I yearn or I yearn? Both. Back in my day, you could buy a top-tier GPU for $500. The back of my day, Didn't even need them GPUs. Your grandfather used to play old school RuneScape. Back then, it used to be called RuneScape, just on his laptop. Didn't even have a graphics card. Had one of them Intel integrated iGPUs inside the system. And nowadays, all you kids need a graphics card to do all them calculations. All in real time and parallel. Sonny, back in my day, you'd be lucky if your thing would just run. And it was good back then. You didn't need no graphics card. All of it ran on a CPU. All software based, baby. I am your father. Kill your other father. Kill him. Kill your father. Kill him. Kill your father. Kill your father! Kill him! Kill over here. Come here. Aw, you killed your kid. Come on. Come here. Follow me. Follow me. Alright, boys. Get him. Alright, boys. Get him. See, like that? I do think it's interesting with their blood. The way that their blood has like this weird, translucent, sort of reflective quality to it. That does look nice. I'm getting shot there, shit! Not gonna lie, you thought since it's Valve they would have cared about performance. No. So this one specifically is done by a community team. It's like a community mod team. It's a thing that they've been doing where like Valve is like the sponsor for the mods. No, not, but they don't give them money or anything. They just allow them to have like a store space or something for like free, I think. And then apparently they also get like greater access to communicating with the core team. So when you when you look at this, just like it's not like the Valve team. It's a community team that's like apparently sanctioned by Valve, and they like support them in their efforts with as much as they can. As far as I've heard, that's how the process goes. Because apparently mod teams have always gotten like a pretty good deal in the sense of like you get your own storefront, you get like extra support in eternally. Kill him. Get him, boys! There's a really cool mod for this game. For Half-Life 2, there's a really cool mod where it's all about using the antlions. It's actually like an RTS mod. And you can be like the antlion team, and then you use the citizens as well. You play the whole game from an RTS perspective. It's a really sick mod. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work anymore because it was made a long time ago, back in like the 2000s, and never got updated. But I always think about that mod when I think about this mechanic, because this is one of the best mechanics in the game, and I wish more games had this. Right? The ability for you to just constantly spawn dudes with your bait. As they die over and over, for us to look at the lighting. Yeah, this is good. I had a feeling that the Half-Life 2 RTX demo would be short, because it's like I'm sort of like mid on the idea of having like a bunch of ray tracing in the game, and like this is the thing, right? Seeing it in Cyberpunk, it looks cool, but even then the game looks amazing from the art direction. And I'm like, I don't know if it's worth the loss in performance, and it doesn't really, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird the way that I feel about ray tracing, because I thought it would be really cool to look at it more realistically, but I feel like we peaked with Oblivion. Okay, maybe not Oblivion, but you know, like I feel like we peaked in some way with the performance to price to value ratio, and I just don't know if it's worth $2,000 to get this. It working well and without the blocky, because this is but if we move to Ultra, looks nice, I can't do anything. But it looks nice for the few frames that you see. Metro 2033 was really good and ran good view. Yeah, but they're like wizards. The way that they make things, it's I look at their thing and I'm like, how did they make like a 15-year-old game or like a 10-year-old game however long ago? How old is that game now? Metro 2033. 2010. Like, I don't get how they made that game so good. Oh, not 2033. Metro Exodus. Well, even 2033, I always thought it like looked really good. And it still holds up very, very well. Metro Exodus 2019. Oh, this is the sequel. Yeah. I mean, even that one, I'm like still sort of like, even that one, I'm surprised at how well it looks and how well it runs. But to be fair, that one is interesting though, because it's like, I remember playing, it was like mostly a corridor hell. I think was it the first game? Wait, okay, which one had this section? Which one of the games had the section where you're outside and you have to like go through the wasteland for like a bit and like your whole team dies or something on like the gun car? Maybe that has something to do with it? Because this is a pretty open level. So maybe that has something to do with it? I don't know. But yeah, I had the same opinion where it's like I don't know how they do it. But when I run it on my machine, when I played it, it was really good, it ran really well. And I actually really like that type of gameplay too, and I like playing on like the hard difficulty. It was like, or like whatever it like was to like, you know, was it the first game with the hard difficulty? I can't remember which one had it, but like I'm pretty sure there was a mode where it's like everything dies in one shot or something, or maybe that was a mod. But I like the way that it felt to play too, so I was like, it was a double win for me. I'm just gonna no click because I don't remember this puzzle. Ah, Freeman. Yeah, this guy looks a little crusty. Looks incredibly crusty. I'm gonna wake him up. Okay, Jet. Oh, you explode. Oh, right, you just exploded. You can count the frames. Holy, yeah. Like this is what I mean by like I don't know if it's worth it. Because look at how poorly it runs. And I'm like, and for the cost that it is, like it just feels crazy to me nowadays. It's like a slideshow. And then you look at the low. Let's say you want to play with performance, right? It's not much better. In many ways, it's worse. Like, if you go low to get stable performance, it looks a hell of a lot worse. And so I'm like, what's sort of the point? Like, look at the wall. It's like my video card's dying. It's like my video card's dying. I don't get it. I'm not a major fan of this. I don't know. Maybe someday it'll get better. Maybe someday we'll see like an evolution in terms of like the price to performance, right? Like what's that thing? Is it Moore's law? What's that law where it's like at some point it's like everything just sort of grows exponentially and we eventually get something really good for really cheap? Like how even like your shittiest CPU today was better than like the mainframes of when computing started to become real? Is Moore's law the one that's like dead? Oh, okay. Okay, well then imagine not the Moore's law. It's like some other law where it's like, why are there so many laws? Why do programmers? Okay, don't answer that. Why do programmers want to make laws? I will say this is cool. Like this here, that's kind of cool. But I'm like, all this for just this? I don't know. I'm very mid on the idea of RTX and like ray tracing in most things. At least until it gets better and more performant and easier to run and looks good even on like, you know, not $2,000 hardware. Then it'll be good. Why is it so blue? What's that? They're going blue. But maybe that's a future that I won't see, right? There's a very good chance that, like, to be fair, all of this will get better. And at some point, it'll be so good that we'll have it just in our daily lives, right? But I sort of think about how, like, will that be in my lifetime? Here we go. Kill him, boys! Kill him! Kill him, boys! Kill him! I really should deal with these, eh? Jesus Christ. It's like a light show. Some say that Moore's Law is dead because we can't keep up with it. Yeah, exactly that. I don't know. Is there other maps? There has to be more maps, right? Background 01, D1, D2 Prison, D1 Town 03. Dropped me from server. Wait, what? Oh, I think my brother was using my computer last night. I think it's his account. Yeah, like I just look at this and I go, I don't know if it's worth it, man. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, it looks cool. For sure it looks cool, and I do like the way that it looks. And I do think the rest of the improvements from the mod look interesting, right? But then I look at sort of like, I don't know if the game needed it. The game looked great as it was. And I don't know if it's worth the high performance loss to, like, try to play this. You can't do anything, man. Can't see anything, man. Okay, stop it. Stop. Death imminent. Yeah, I don't know. Half-Life 2 especially, of all games, just feels like a weird place to use it. Like, what's another good game that could be interesting for a remix, right? Like, if I think of this technology as being usable on any old game, the initial look at remix with Morrowind, I think was amazing. So if you go to like the RTX remix thing, that initial look at how Morrowind could like remix as in what? Oh, as in like the RTX one. So here, look, this is the original video, I guess from IGN. We'll just do like an IGN video. Okay.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Alex Dunn.
Stop! Show me the fucking. Sorry. I hate stupid fucking when you're on Google and you search for like a video, a YouTube video, it opens in a small shitty window that plays at max fucking volume.
Is a massive culture. Everyone is a creator. We're using Elder Scrolls Morrowind from Bethesda. One of the
See, like, I feel like a game like this, even though it's super old, I think to myself, a game like this in higher fidelity could be more interesting because it's like, you get really immersed. But a game like Half-Life 2, I'm like, I don't really get it. It wasn't so old that it looked bad, and it was stylized in such a way that it still looks good. Whereas like older games, I feel like it benefits so much more from it because they're so limited heavily that like everything was crustier. Like, in Half-Life 2, like, circles were circles, man. Like, this was still a roughly pretty good circle. If you look really close, like, maybe you could see, like, the hard lines, but for the most part, it still looked pretty good as a circle. The fire effects look kind of flat, but, you know, like, everything else was fine. I don't know, I just don't know. Maybe Half-Life 2 is just not a good use of it. Like, it's cool to think about how ray tracing could look like in a Half-Life 2 with the style as, like, a visual, wow, ooh, wowie, right? But, I don't know, it just doesn't really... I think it just feels like the wrong type of thing to use the remix on. Not to say that, like, it's not necessarily good, but if I'm going to pay this performance price to run it on low and things still look blurry and blocky as shit, I'd rather just have it on Morrowind. That one, you totally forgot about it. Yeah, when people use this word for game graphics, but you always felt and still feel like Half-Life 2 looks oddly photorealistic. Yeah. Like, it's, yeah, I hate that word too, because it's like photorealism is a very sort of different thing, but yeah, I do agree, because like Half-Life 2, there's just something about the way that they compose everything together that makes it look really, really nice. And I think that's the thing that it makes it hold up so well. Whereas like, and then it's like you don't really need the really high poly counts because like, does it really matter? And like the only thing that really jumps out at you when you play it for sure is like the hard edges on the buildings. Half-Life Alyx made this a lot better, where like the hard edges are not really there anymore. Like it's actually like it actually looks like a real building with like real bricks and stuff. But then it's like, okay, well, if it still looks pretty fine even from like a distance and at the pace that you play a first-person shooter, right? At this pace, I go, what's the point? Compared to like, again, the Morrowind video. If we look at the Morrowind video again, I mean, Morrowind is like, it looks like ass.
Of creative tools can then be used to enhance
Okay, the game, like, look, the game looks like ass, and then you upgrade it, it looks so much better, right? Like a game like that, I think it'd be worth more for this, or even Half-Life. Yeah, Half-Life 1 for that matter. Yeah. Wait, do I have Half-Life 1? Let's just, I do. Yeah, okay. Let's just hop on Half-Life 1 really quick. I have to get off my brother's account. I think he was using my PC last night. Yeah, like something about the textures was always really good within Half-Life 2, and I'm like, I don't really know if it's like, do you need to have any more of an enhancement? Because like, again, yeah, like Half-Life 1, I thought they would have done Half-Life 1 RTX instead of Half-Life 2, but I guess for Half-Life 1 they already had the Black Mesa thing, right? So gotta get off your brother's Xbox. Mom said it's his shirt. So his PC broke, and so it's like I have to like fix it because I have a spare graphics card. But so, it's something about the graphics card. I think when he was moving it, he like dropped it, so the whole thing like snapped off or something. I'm hoping the connector on the motherboard isn't off, but we'll also have a spare motherboard too, so hopefully everything works. But I have to fix it. I think he was playing. I do see Warzone download on my PC, and I see that my free disk space is about 30 gigabytes on my main disk, so it's kind of hard to do anything. But you know, at least he didn't delete anything. So, oh wait, I have the original Half-Life 2. Wait, chat, let's just go into Half-Life 2. Okay, so you've seen the RTX. We're gonna go into the original Half-Life 2, and we're just gonna look at the difference. Thank God I have it, and I think I can even do game capture on this. Right? Do I go for the proxy window or do I go for the main window? No, the main window. I don't know if it works, to be fair. Like, Half-Life 2 is a bit annoying to capture. Run in a thing. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And we'll do, okay, we'll still do, okay, do this. Okay, try this. You wish to stop playing now? No. Okay, well, this thing game capture is fine. So this is base Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 Episode 2, to be fair. So the episodes did have a lot of improvements, so I will say it is like, it's different. But I think the improvements make it look really, really well. What's the cheats again? There's like a keyboard. Okay, we do this and we do SV cheats 1 map. We'll go here. Outland 04. I think Outland 04 is good. Impulse 101. God. That scared me. I was like, who the hell's... I was like, well, what's that shadowy figure? It's him! It's Glorp! Jesus Christ, that's so loud. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Yeah, like, look at this. The performance is amazing, and it's not like you lose a lot. Like, you definitely lose out on the softness of the lighting. There is a lack of a softness to it, right? And there is the lack of, like, your flashlight, of the world reacting to your flashlight in a certain way, but, like, it still looks really good. And see, like, it's something about the way that they compose everything that makes it look nice. Like, it's like they have just enough quality, just enough style to it, that it feels good. Can you just stop talking about the sense? Like, oh. Bottom of this pit. Alyx is at the bottom of this pit. At the bottom of this pit? I don't know about this pit.
Bravely done, Freeman. When you reach the lower chamber, you must find a way to something.
Like, this doesn't... This is good. This is good as is. And I sort of wonder what's the point of that, you know? Was I supposed to do that?
Remember, do not kill the Guardian.
There are games that might be technically outdated by today's standards, yet don't feel like they had to compromise on the visuals. Yeah, exactly. Not much to be gained from remaking it. Yeah. Like, I think of a game to remake, yeah, like Half-Life 1 is a game to remake. Half-Life 2, this is what it looked like already. Like, sure, the skeleton model is a little bit low quality, right? Sure, like you can see kind of like the blockiness of it, but it's not that bad. Like it still looks really nice, and the key is that it doesn't need a $2,000 graphics card to run even at the lowest settings. Like that's the thing that confuses. I killed it. I killed them. I love killing these things, actually. I love squishing them. These like babies. Squish the babies. Whereas if we go into Half-Life 1, I think that game is a good candidate. And I think Half-Life 1 is a great candidate to show. Wait, so maybe we'll do a different map. What was the one? Eli? Was it canals? I'm pretty sure the canals is where you want to go. But there's also an outdoor section which I think would be interesting. Wait, this is episode 1. EP2, EP1. Maybe Outland further. I think at some point there's like a specific room where it's like, I think that's one. Where you really start to see it. Like this isn't bad. You realize it's a meme to be like in 2005 we thought this was realistic as hell, but now it looks like ass. But there's a critical mass, so to speak, where it doesn't matter. Yeah, like, and I feel like we've hit that a long time ago. Cause look at this. Here we go. Okay, if you ignore the people shooting me, right? If you what's that thing again? Is it Buddha? Okay, Buddha doesn't work. Okay, well, okay, I guess Buddha doesn't stop the snipers. He can't stop. Man, Buddha doesn't stop snipers? Really? Why does Buddha not stop the snipers? What the heck? What's the point of Buddha? The Freeman must proceed with Alex Vance, otherwise I struggle is doomed. Those who... Oops. Yeah, like this? Sorry, she keeps dying. She keeps dying immediately. This doesn't look bad at all. And I'm like, I don't know how much RTX would make it better for the type of performance that you have to, get. And for the type of money that you need to spend to make it better, I just don't know. It just doesn't feel really good. What's the level where you save? I'm pretty sure it's like 07. Is it this one? You're already here. You're already saved. No, let's go 8. Wait, I'm trolling. I'm just going further. I mean, okay, to be fair, this section I think would look really cool in RTX. Yeah, for sure. As long as you get any resolution out of the game session, it doesn't really matter for things from the 360 era. Onwards. And that's being conservative, so we could even go earlier. Yeah, like I look at a game even on the PS1. I look at Vagrant. Is it Vagrant Story? I look at a game like Vagrant Story on the PS1, and I go, that already looks fine. And it looks amazing for like a PS1 game. And I go, did we really have to go even further? Like, sure, it's like really nice to see, but if we can't run it for free and it has a cost to it, it's like at some point it just doesn't really feel worth it. Yeah? And now we check out Half-Life 1. If you're reading this achievement, Gabe Newell has successfully launched Noam Chomsky into space. If you also did not receive the achievement manufacturing assent, Newell has abandoned his plan to shoot Noam Chomsky into space. What is this achievement? Why did I get an achievement? I don't care what Gabe does with his billions of dollars. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not his mother. Well, as far as I know. Pog. Pog. I got a free achievement because the CEO is rich. Pog. I guess we'll just go right into new game. Half-Life Uplink? What's Half-Life Uplink? The hell is Uplink?
To the HEV Mark 4.
Don't mind that last command. That last command was just for me. Sorry. That last command. It's one of them fancy little like test commands where you just throw in a little hoo hee hee hee. It's like console logging in like web development. When you make a website, you want to make sure that your website works. I like to do like echo cock to like make sure. You got an idea. Implement achievements that are tied to how many copies of the game are sold to your part. Wait. Okay, let me write that down. So we do, okay. Snow job. Alright, so snow job. To do achievement based on how many copies are sold in order to gaslight people into buying my game. Idea from Megane. That way, if people complain, I can put them towards you. Oh god, that's loud. Yeah, see, like this? I could see this. I could see Half-Life 1 benefiting from remix, right? But even this isn't necessarily the worst thing ever. It actually still looks very nice, and you still get this sense of like, ooh, ah. Like you look at this and you go, this is a nice science facility. Though I've never played Uplink.
So we can get down to safety.
I'm sorry, but those doors won't be open until we send the all clear.
Subject Freeman. Status. Evaluation terminated. Subject failed to effectively utilize human assets. Even this looks better than you anticipated. You remember the textures being more crusty. It's because of the 20th anniversary. Well, whatever they did for the 20th anniversary thing, it made everything look a lot better.
Power 15%.
Because I think they updated both the games to have more things, and then they also added the workshop support to Half-Life 2. But I think for Half-Life 1 specifically, they updated things. I'm pretty sure they updated things. You know what? Don't believe me, okay? I'm live. I have no opportunity to like fact check. I can't fact check, right? So go and figure it out yourself.
We can get down to safety.
But I will say it is the better game because Shift, by default, you run at max speed. In Half-Life 2, you have to hold the button to run at max speed. The only thing that's missing is the gravity gun.
And I'm getting high radiation levels in the transmitter dome. Nobody but a fool would go in there.
Nobody but a fool. I'll go.
This guy.
Yes. Yes, he looks good. Yes. There was a game before you think of Steam Greenlight when I was still a thing. Holy shit, yeah. For everyone giving a thumbs up on the page, the dev added a clip of himself drinking a glass of water. Some user told him to look up water intoxication. That's funny. That's funny to think about, because that sounds awful. Like, genuinely, that sounds awful. If you have to drink a bunch of water. Oops, that's a mine. Okay, I want the mines, actually. I'll do this one. See ya, man. Wait, what? I can't place this here? Hello?
5%.
Do they really have this advanced physics here? Wow, pretty good. I didn't know that it would just pop off. Yeah, I did not expect that, because I don't know, that was actually really cool, the way that it like popped off and made it so you can pick it up. That was cool. Huh. Usually it just explodes, so I was expecting it to just blow up. But yeah, like, see, like a game like this could benefit from a remix, right? The lighting is still actually, I think, really, really good, but key to that is that everything does look very sort of plasticky, the way that it looks. So like I can see remix being good for games at this fidelity level, where it looks like this and it's super easy to run, and maybe it'd be interesting to see it with like a better lighting solution, but at least for like the asset upscaling, I think it'd be cool, right? Can you not talk to me while you're shooting that? Like, it's kind of weird. What? You saying I smell bad? Asshole. That was mean of me. I'm sorry. What was that stench? I know it's really loud. I know. I just want to see how far I can take this stupid concept. Yeah. A game like that, I could see it needing RTX. A game like Half-Life 2, I look at that and I go, it's enough. And I don't think it's worth paying the performance tax for it. So while it's cool to check out, I'm going to right-click Half-Life 2 RTX this demo, which, by the way, is 80 gigabytes long, or large. So not only do you pay a tax in terms of your graphics card, you also pay a tax in terms of your your disk space. And sure, disk space is cheap, but guess what, buddy? Not always. Okay, in Canada, we pay more than I think we pay $20 per terabyte or something, or like per gig per something. It's not that cheap. Okay, and everything has a cost to it, right? And it's about the trade off of what do you gain for it that makes me go, I don't know if it's worth it for Half-Life 2. It's a cool experiment, right? And if they're just doing it for like a technical, in the sense of because I don't think anybody's using Remix for much of anything, so it's like maybe they're doing it just to see how it works, and I think that's a fine purpose. But when I think of it from like a player perspective of do I even want this, I'm not really sold. It just kind of feels and looks to me like it looks better, definitely does look better, but it also looks a hell of a lot worse because you have to get like a $6,000 computer to be able to run it. Right? And in fact, I want to show you Canadian prices of some things here. So let's look at NVIDIA 5. Is the 5000 series even out yet? I actually don't know. Is it out yet? How do I see like the NVIDIA 5090? Let's go here, 5090. Let's see. So US, it's already $2,000. And even like the X3, the X90, 70, whatever the card from AMD thing is, it's like close to $1,000 in the Canadian, right? This is like roughly 2,800 to 3,000 in the Canadian. Like, that's a lot of money just to be able to play Half-Life 2 in RTX at a stable performance, right? And I wonder why. Again, what are you really getting out of it for that? I just don't get it. Right? And even games with it, like Cyberpunk, like sure it looks cool, but like how much are you really getting it from it versus just playing the game? I don't know. And it's weird too, because there's one thing that I always think about too, where at some points I don't really look at the game anymore. Like I do notice this a lot about when I look at really cool looking graphics within games. It only appeals to me for the first maybe like 10-15 minutes. After that, I'm so focused on the gameplay that I don't even look at how cool things look. It's like the graphics are just there to serve as a communication method to show me what needs to be done, to show me sort of like the point of the world and show me the point of the game, right? And then it's like I don't even need the cool lighting anymore. It doesn't even register in my mind. And so even that, at least for me personally, I don't know if others feel it, but it's like if at some point your brain glosses over all these details, is it even worth all this, I don't know, all this effort to go through to have this stuff? And is it worth us having to pay the tax of like every new game is just going to have it and then we have to just upgrade all of our shit? I just don't get it. And we don't even know if the gameplay is good because you can't even run the game well, right? You've been on an AMD GPU for a while, not having access to the most efficient RTX. It's honestly not something that is even on your mind. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, but I would even say like it's interesting that it's so heavily locked into the ecosystem, right? It's like it's like that's the other point too of like, or like that's like my main point of like even though it's cheaper, it's like the best quality performance that you can get is like on these cards only. How much wider is that gap going to go? Because there's no incentive for them to cooperate, right? Like there's no incentive for NVIDIA and AMD to cooperate on it. It's just a loss for NVIDIA if they do, and only a gain for AMD, right? And it's like, how far is that going to go as we get further and further, right? DLSS 4, I've heard in watching like the Digital Foundry videos, it like blows FSR out of the water, and I go, man, like at some point this gap is going to be so wide that you only really have one option, and the price is it's just going to keep going up. It's going to be like a $4,000 graphics card. It's funny, when RTX came out, there was a meme in the sense that there was no content for it, and now that you guess it's kind of, and now you guess that it's kind of there, but was it as influential as people thought? Yeah, like it's weird how it hasn't really panned out as much as I thought it would. Yeah, maybe we haven't gotten that RTX game though, right? Because like when it did first come out, I think the coolest thing was seeing the Minecraft water. When you saw the Minecraft RTX water, I was like, damn, that's some pretty neat stuff, and it looked really, really cool. Here, that's like on-off gameplay of seeing the really cool fancy water, yeah? But it's like, maybe we're just missing that. Maybe we're missing the killer game for RTX. Because think about a game like Minecraft that didn't look like this, but it had more interesting things to do, and... Well, to be fair, Minecraft is a deeper game. But what I'm saying is like, a game that has Minecraft's gameplay framework, but has like high fidelity graphics, maybe it'd be worth it. Maybe that level of immersion is like what we're just missing from anything out there yet, right? Maybe we just need somebody to make like imagine if Project Zomboid was first person, was like a first person 3D game, or State of Decay 3 comes out and it's actually a really good game, right? And it just has RTX, maybe it could be amazing. I don't know. But so far, the only game that makes me go wow for the RTX is Cyberpunk. And even there, it's like the game is so busy that you don't even look at it. Like you don't even notice because you're so busy playing the game. It's kind of hard to focus on that when you're in the middle of like a heavy combat sequence. And it just makes me go, well, what's the point then? I don't know. Minecraft already had shaders though, and they probably ran better. So yes and yes. Yeah, they a lot of them. Well, I guess it depends. Maybe now the performance difference is close, but I remember early on, yeah, the shaders ran a lot better. Though maybe now having like a solution that's built in RTX and then direct. Well, I guess they're both direct usage, but like the fact that it's not coming from a shader, maybe it's more interesting. But I don't really. I guess like because like I'm assuming RTX is more of a full system thing and not just shaders. But I don't really know. I haven't looked too much in like detail of how it does the calculations. I just know sort of vaguely what ray tracing is and what it ends up as, and sort of what it should be as a math concept. But beyond that, I don't really know the like details of how it's implemented. It also kind of looks like you could make Minecraft look that way without RTX. Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the point? Like, keep in mind what the point of reference is in the case of Minecraft. Yeah, because like if you look at, I don't know. Yeah, these mods make. Okay, just stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking.
I don't know. You could do
Shut the fuck up. Anyways, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Look, we just need one zombie game. We need one zombie survival game that's first person, that has really, really good ray tracing. Channel is called Disruptive for a reason. I genuinely I've been thinking about this. Maybe I should upload all of my VODs without the talking track.